So now we're in Jackson Heights, Queens, where I live, and we're out here going Sneckdown hunting. Now, one important thing to talk about is the fact that we've now been 3 days into this storm, and some of these are already pretty frozen solid, and the temperatures aren't supposed to get above freezing for almost a week. That means drivers are gonna have to go more slowly. And if they could do it for a week, they could do it for a month, they could do it all year long. And these Sneckdowns, which protrude into the intersections, will show us where we can reclaim some of the space to make it safer for pedestrians especially. That thing is about 12 feet off of the curb. So we can take back some of this space to make it safer for people.
Sneckdown protection at work.
That's one mountain of a Sneckdown. That's our Mount Everest. And you can see cars are making that turn just fine. And look at that truck, just made that turn, and he went through a little bit of the Sneckdown, but he left a lot there and had no problems. You can see, even where the wheel mark starts way out here, we're talking 6 or 7 feet from the curb. Here's another Sneckdown that's incredibly far from the curb. It must go at least 10, maybe 12 feet from the curb. And sitting here recording car after car, just making the turn nice and smoothly. Look at all that. Here we go, watch this guy. Of course, we know there are plenty of cranks out there who don't just understand this. We're not saying take away the driving lane, we're saying make it narrower at the corners, where there's obvious evidence that people have been making these turns and don't have to use them. That's why we call it nature's tracing paper, because look, nature provided a blanket of snow, and now we're showing where it gets used most. And in this case, none of that's been used for 3 days by cars. I think it's safe to say they're not going to use it. And you can always make these curbs mountable. So if you've got delivery vehicles, you're worried about fire trucks, buses, and anything else that might require a little more space. But believe me, I've been out here and I see all kinds of vehicles making these turns. And these are going to be here for probably another week because it's so damn cold, not expected to get over 32 degrees. You often find people going to pick up their food or their deliveries at food places, and cars stop for a few minutes right in the crosswalk, right on the corner. And the snow behind me is showing that, you know, we could fill these with concrete. That way we wouldn't have cars parked on the corner blocking the crosswalks. Slower turns brought to you by the magic of ice and snow. So here I am outside City Hall. We got Sneckdowns all around. Here you go, here's one right here. And here are medians that could even be a little bit wider. You can find space everywhere where you could extend the pedestrian refuge areas all over the city. Now look at this curb extension over here we could be doing. Unfortunately, this Sneckdown is so large that people have to go around it. You can see all of the snowy space that protrudes into the roadway. And so you could take that back in reality if you had a magic wand and could redraw and re-pour these concrete curbs. Now here's a really truly cool example of the Sneckdown. At some point prior to today, New York City DOT painted this space as a place that pedestrians can wait, and they put out flexible barriers, and you can see the paint on the street is a different color. So this right here is an example of a Sneckdown that has become integrated into the transportation world. Part of it has been cleared away. This is all Sneckdown. See where the plastic wands are in the snow, and then these people are waiting to go. So this is all space that was determined previously that cars don't need in this intersection.
In case if you didn't know what a Sneckdown is, it's a snowy neckdown. Also, I think that's why it's from there.
I termed them snowy neckdowns many years ago, but Sneckdowns, thanks to Aaron Napperstack and Streets blog, is what they became.